Hey coin collectors, it's DC on the Big D, and we're looking at the 1944 Walking Liberty half dollar today. And this is the coin right here. It says Liberty going up around the top. It says, "In God We Trust" behind Lady Liberty. She's holding some plants and flowers. There are some stars up here that you can't see very well. There is the sun coming up, I hope. Maybe it's going down. It looks like it's coming up. This is 1944 here. And this is very much like a French coin design called the Sower by Oscar Oti, which was used as an engraving. The Walking Liberty was made from 1916 to 1947, so this is getting near the end of the years in which they made the Walking Liberty. And of course, this is the very middle of World War II. And how can we tell? Let's look at another coin from the 40s, a 1945 coin. And look at this one. This is 20 centavos from Filipinas, or the Philippines. And the Philippines, of course, was a U.S. Commonwealth in the 1940s. And this is a 1945, says United States of America around the top. 1945 down here, kind of a Philippine United States joint emblem here. And then down here there's a D. And of course these were made at the Denver Mint. They also made a 50 centavos, very similar to this, with a woman walking just like this. But the Philippines, the woman has an anvil over here, and this is the mountain in the Philippines, that the volcanic mountain behind her erupting. So the Philippines kind of used the same type of design for their coins, but they put a Philippine touch to them. I said this came out in 1916 and went to 1947. On the back of these coins, it says United States of America, E Pluribus Unum. There's an eagle here, and there is the AAW for Adolf A. Weinman. It's like a double A inside an A, inside a W. And it says E Pluribus Unum over here. The mint mark would be right here if there is one, and there's not, so that means this is a Philadelphia. And in Philadelphia in 1943, they made 53 million of these. This is worth probably about $10 just because it has almost $10 of silver in it, so it won't go much lower than that. And it doesn't go much higher until you get to the almost uncirculated, when it'll get you up into the $30 range. MS60, Mint State 60, will get you up into the 50s, and MS65 will get you up above 100, maybe 150, 160. What came before this? Well, before this came the Barber half, and this is it here. Lady Liberty facing to the right with a laurel wreath. The stars around her here. And this is in 1909. The Barber half was made from 1892 until 1915. These are both silver halves, so they're 90% silver. On the back of the Barber half, we see that says United States of America half dollar, and down here is where the mint mark is on the Barber half. It's the S for the San Francisco Mint. And those of you who know coins know 1909, and so I got to bring it up. And there it is, the first U.S. penny was with Lincoln on it, was made in 1909. But this is the first year that they were ever made without. They call them with or without the VDB, and the VDB would be right in the back here if it was on the 1909. E Pluribus Unum, 1 cent, United States of America, wheat ears on each side. After the Walking Liberty, in 1948 they came out with the Franklin half, and we actually have the 49 Franklin half here. It says Liberty 1949, In God We Trust. Again, a 90% silver, Ben Franklin facing to the right, and you can see the initials right here, the JRS on the Franklin half, and that's for John R. Sinek. And there is the Franklin half with the Liberty Bell on the back, and you've seen this Liberty Bell on the back of the Eisenhower dollars from bicentennial. United States of America, E Pluribus Unum. We have the eagle over here, and it says half dollar with the cracked Liberty Bell. Now, you know for sure which came after this one, and that was the 1964 Kennedy, a 90% silver half dollar. And people say, where did this hair and the letters come from? Well, look at Liberty. The B, the E, and the R are all kind of underneath Walking Liberty, and the B, the E, and the R are all in President John F. Kennedy's hair. This was a Gilroy Roberts engraving here, and there's a GR way down in there on the neck. It says Liberty, and then it says In God on this side. We Trust on this side, 1964, and of course this is the War Eagle. War with the arrows, peace with the olive branch, holding the banner, the E Pluribus Unum banner. 9 stars up here, 4 down here, there's your 13, and then 50 around the outside. So this was a 90%, the only year of the Kennedy 90%. 1965, they came out with a newer coin, and this is actually the 66 version because we wanted to show you what they called the mint set or the SMS version. Same Gilroy Roberts engraving, except you can see a little bit of brown in there, or copper, and that's because in 1965 they made these a 40% silver rather than 90%. And way down in here you can see the engraver of the back of the Kennedy halves, and that's F.G. Frank Gasparo, who of course is the same Frank Gasparo who engraved the back of the penny, and that's the FG there. And then finally, I just wanted to say they still make the Kennedy halves. Here's the 2022, and the same Kennedy. This is the Denver Mint 2022, same Gilroy Roberts, everything the same on it, except in order to buy these now, you have to buy them from the U.S. Mint or buy them from a coin dealer who has bought them from the U.S. Mint. All right, that's all we have today from the Big D Coin Channel. Take a look for these Walking Liberties. They're worth $15 or $16 probably minimum, but if you can get one for $10, I would almost always buy it because that's a silver value.